Dear students, today we are going to study a revision of basics of Python part 2. That is, we are going to continue the previous session in which we have studied some of the concepts of basics of Python which we have learned in class 11th. Now, this is the part of first unit computational thinking and programming, and it is the second session. First of all, we will have a brief overview of what we have learned in our previous session. So here are a few points which we have studied in our last session. First, we have seen the various features and shortcomings of Python language. We have seen what advantages Python offer and which makes it so popular. We have seen the different modes in which the Python interpreter works, that is interactive and script modes. Also, we have seen how to work on the Python idle interpreter, IDLE, that is an IDE for Python. And we have seen how to open the programs, we have seen how to execute programs, and in various modes, in interactive mode and script mode, we have seen how to open a script file, how to write the commands on the prompt and execute them. So that was about working with the interpreter. So we have seen how can we work on idle interpreter. Then next we have seen what are the data types which are available in Python as any other language. We have seen the list of data types that are available. And also we have studied the data type, numeric data types, integer, floating point numbers and complex numbers. So in integer, floating point numbers and complex number, we have seen how they can be interconverted using typecasting or type conversion. One data type can be casted or converted into another data type. In class 11th, you must remember that when we used to take input from the user using the input function, the input which was received by the user was initially in the string form or the string data type, and it was converted into integer, floating point or other data types as required by using an int or float in outside the parenthesis. That was for converting it from the string data type to the required data type. That was also a type of type conversion. Now today we are going to study the other data types apart from numeric data types which are available in Python. So first of all, we must be aware what data types are. Every value in Python has a data type. Whatever you see in Python, we have variables, we have some other constructs. They are all in the form of data types. So whatever data you need to store, that has to be of a particular data type or categories which we have seen. So you also know that Python is a purely object-oriented programming language. So whatever data needs to be stored in Python has to be stored in terms of objects. And what are those objects? They are instances of classes. So everything in an object-oriented language is in the form of classes and objects. So since Python is a purely object-oriented language, everything is in terms of classes and objects. So classes are actually the data types and objects are the instances of those data types. That is why we are studying data types. Now we have here is a list of the data types which are available in Python: number data type, list data type, tuples, strings, set and dictionary. Number data type we have seen in the last session that it consists of integer, floating point and complex numbers. We have seen how to interconvert between the various data types. Now today we will start from the list data type, and we will also study tuples, strings, sets and dictionary in brief, and later on we are going to cover these topics in detail. Now we are going to study these 5 data types today. First of all, Python list. Here are some important points regarding Python list. List is an ordered sequence of items. Ordered sequence means that if you change the order of items, although two lists may contain the same items, but if you change the order of those items in the list, then the two lists are different. and it is one of the most used data type in Python and is very flexible. This property, it is flexible, means it is mutable. You will see later what mutable means. So since Python lists are flexible data types, they have a variety of applications. We will study later on in our syllabus that they can be used for implementing stacks, queues and other data structures, advanced data structures. So list is very useful in those cases. Now all the items in the list do not need to be of the same type. The items in the list can be of the same type, but it is not necessary that all items would be of the same type. They can be of different types also. Lists are mutable. As I already told that lists are mutable. There are two categories of data types. They are mutable and immutable. Mutable means that the elements of that data type can be modified. That is, if you access a particular element and change it, that is feasible in case of mutable data types. But in case of immutable data types, if you try to change a particular element in the data type, it is going to report an error. It is not going to change it. So that is the difference between mutable and immutable. When we will encounter some immutable data type, it will be clear to you. Also, we are going to discuss this point in detail later. Now, first of all, you must know how can we declare a list. So list is a comma separated list of items which are written within brackets. So you can see the example a is equal to 1, 2.2 Python. Here 1 is an integer, 2.2 is a float and Python is a string. You can enclose a string within single quotes or double quotes. So it is a collection of different data types, although you can have the same data types also. So declaring a list, you can use any data type separated by comma and enclosed within brackets. Now slicing a list, this concept is very important in Python. We can slice a list by using the slicing operator, which is square brackets, to extract an item or a range of items from a list. So what is it used for? Slicing operator is used to extract a particular item or a range of items. So whenever you need a range or to extract a particular element, you need to use the slicing operator. You must remember that list is an indexed data type. That is, each element of a list has a particular index. Now the index starts from 0 up to n minus 1, where n is the number of elements in the list. So index starts from 0. So the first element will be at index 0, second element will be at index 1 and so on. So the index of an element is its position minus 1. We can see an example where a is equal to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So the hash sign indicates a comment. Okay, so don't confuse it with the command a2 is equal to 15. We are not writing the command. This is a comment. We, in order to indicate that a2 is equal to 15. A2 means 2 is the index. So 2 index will be at 5 is index 0, 10 is index 1 and 15 is at index 2. So a2 is equal to 15. When we try to print a2, that is going to print 15. Also, if we print a0 to 3, a0 to 3 is going to print the elements from 5 to up till index 3. That is, a0 to 3 is going to print 5, 10, 15. Similarly, a5 colon, we have not specified the end index. So in this case, it is going to print from index 5 up to the end. So index 5 is at 30. So it is going to print 30, 35, 40 up till the end. We can also skip the front index. If we skip the front index, then it is going to print from the beginning. Lists are mutable. As already told, lists are mutable. That is, you can modify an element of the list. Suppose a given list is a is equal to 1 to 3. Now here, if we change a2 is equal to 4, if we assign the element at index 2 as 4 and again print the list, it is going to print 1 to 4. That is, the element 3 has been replaced by 4. So this is the meaning of being mutable. Second data type after this is tuple. tuple is an ordered sequence of items, same as list. So you can say that tuple and list are similar. Only difference between a tuple and a list is that it is immutable. Also, since it is an ordered sequence of items, this means that you can access the elements of a tuple by using its index. So tuple is also indexed and it is similar to list. The only difference is that tuple is immutable. That is, you cannot change the elements of a tuple, you cannot replace them or modify them, whereas in case of list you can do so. Tuples once created cannot be modified. So once you have created a tuple, since it is immutable, you cannot modify it. So it is used for write protecting the data. So once data is written in tuple, you cannot modify it. So it is used to write protect data, and it is faster than list as it cannot change dynamically, whereas a list can change dynamically. So how do we write a tuple? We write a tuple within parentheses where the items are separated by commas. So tuple is also a comma separated list, list of items, and it can also contain items of different types. That is, the data type of the elements of a tuple can be different. So you see that list and tuple are almost similar, the only difference being list is written within brackets and tuple is written within parentheses. List is mutable and tuple is immutable. How can we slice a tuple? Similar to a list, we can also slice a tuple. The slicing operator is used for doing this. So you can access the elements, you can print the elements of a tuple, but unlike list, you cannot modify the elements by using the slicing operator. For example, if a given list is t is equal to 5, program I1 plus 3j. So it is a collection of an integer, string and a complex number. If here t1 is program, t1 is program, if we try to print t1, that is going to print program. If we try to print t0 to 3, it is going to print all the elements of the list. But if we try to write t0 is equal to 10, now we are assigning the value 10 where the initial value was 5. So this will generate an error, and you must know that why is it generating an error. It is generating an error because tuples are immutable. Now next data type is string, Python string. String, as we all know, is a sequence of characters. So a number of characters form a string. There is one important thing to note, that even if it is a single character written within single or double quotes, then it is also a string in Python. You cannot call it a single character. Even if it is a single character or multiple characters, that is a string in Python, because there is no character data type in Python. We can use single quotes or double quotes to represent strings. Now if we need to write multi-line string, they can be written within single triple quotes or double triple quotes. For example, s is equal to, this is a string which is written within double quotes. If we need to write a multi-line string, we can use triple quotes, whereas in case of double quotes, every line which you are writing has to be written within double quotes. Now similar to list and tuple, we can slice a string also. Again the slicing operator is used, and you must remember that strings are immutable. So again, strings once declared cannot be modified. You cannot modify the elements of a string because they are immutable. See the examples below. S is equal to hello world. If we going to print S4, S4 is O, because H, the index starts from 0. So since strings are also indexed data type, their index starts from 0. So you can use the slicing operator to slice a string, access a particular element, but you cannot modify the elements of a string. So if we are going to print S4, that is going to print O. If we are going to print S6 to 11, then it is going to print world, because W is at index 6 and up till 11 is going to print up till last world. Now if we try to modify the fifth element, what is the fifth element? That is the blank space. Now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, that is this blank space. If we are going to replace it by D, suppose we are going to replace it by string D, then that is going to generate an error because strings are immutable. So here we can summarize that list are mutable and string, tuple, they are immutable. Sets you are also, you have also studied in your mathematics. Sets, what are they? They are unordered collection of unique items. So the order doesn't matter in sets. What does this mean? You cannot access the element of sets by using their indexes because they are unordered. If they were ordered, you would be able to access the elements using the index, but since they are unordered, you cannot access the elements using their indexes. So sets are unordered collection of unique elements. There are elements are unique. This means that there is no repetition in elements of a set. So you cannot have repeated elements of a set that is taken only once. Sets are defined by values separated by comma inside braces. So sets are elements which are separated by commas and written within braces. Sets are not ordered. So if you are going to print A is equal to A, that is going to print all the elements of the set. Now if you are using the type, if you are using type function, what you may remember that type function is used to identify the type of data type of the variable which we are using. So if A is equal to 52314, print type, that is going to print the type of A as set. Now set operations you must have studied in mathematics. There are many set operations which can be performed on sets. For example, union, intersection, set difference, and so on. So we can also perform set operations on these Python sets. So they find an application in mathematical modeling where it is required to deal with mathematical constructs containing sets. We can use Python sets for that. Now sets have unique value, as I've already told. The values are unique in a set. They cannot be repeated. So whenever we declare a set with a number of similar elements, they will eliminate the duplicates. For example, A is equal to 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. In the given example, if we are going to print A, that is going to print 1, 2, 3, and the repeated elements will be eliminated. Since sets are unordered collection, indexing has no meaning. I have already told earlier that indexing has no meaning, so you cannot access the elements of a set by using the slicing operator or its indexes. So the slicing operator will not work. So slicing does not apply to sets. You cannot slice a set, whereas in case of list and tuples you can slice. Also in string, A is equal to 1, 2, 3. If we try to slice, that is A1, if we need to access the first element of a set, we try to access it, it is going to give a type error. Set object does not support indexing. Next data type and last data type is dictionary. So dictionary is an unordered collection of key value pairs. Again, it is unordered. Unordered means you cannot apply indexing. So how do you access the elements of a dictionary then? If index is not applicable on dictionary, you can access the elements of a dictionary using key value pairs. So a dictionary consists of elements which are in the form key value. So that is pairs of keys and values. So whenever you need to access a value, you can access it using its key. So it is generally used when we have a huge amount of data. So when the data involved is very large, we use the dictionary data type. Dictionaries are optimized for retrieving data. We must know the key to retrieve the value. So whenever you need to access a value in a dictionary, you need to have an access to the key. In Python, dictionaries are defined within braces. Again, dictionaries are defined within braces similar to sets, with each item being a pair in the form key value. Key and value can be of any type. So key and value, they can be of any type, but the only property which must be followed in a dictionary is that each key must have a value. That is, each value and key must be a pair. So you can see the example, D is equal to 1, value key 2. So here 1 is the key and value is the value, comma, key is in the second one, key is the key and 2 is the value. If we try to find out the type of D in this case, also you must remember that key and value are separated by colon. So if we try to find out the try to find out what is the data type of D, then we use the type function in which we are going to write type D. It is going to return the type of D as dictionary. We use key to retrieve the respective value, but not the other way around. That is, key can be used to retrieve the respected value, but the value cannot be used to retrieve the key. D is equal to, let's see an example, D is equal to 1 colon value, key colon 2. Now in order to access the value, you need to have access the key 1, or the value 2, you need to access the key. Now if we print the type of D, that is going to return dictionary obviously. If we try to print D1 is equal to D1, that is going to print the value. Now we try to print D key, because we are accessing the value 2 with the help of key. So if we are going to print D key, that is going to print key. Now if we are going the other way around, that is, we are taking the value D2 and we are trying to access the key, then it is going to report an error. So thank you for today. In the next class we are going to study some more topics on revision tool, and we will try to solve some problems which are important from the exam point of view. So in the next class, be prepared to solve some examples. Also we will have a practical session later on, so that we will continue the practicals along with theory. Thank you.